back with episode 2 of Monday Mania. Monday main event Mondays on a Wednesday. I'm still messing around with these titles. I don't know where other I'm coming and going. It's freaking 21 degrees below zero here in the mitten. Scott's got freaking snow in Florida.
What the
Hell is officially freezing over on this episode of Main Event Mondays on a Wednesday. We're going to be talking about WrestleMania 26. WrestleMania 26. It emanated from Glendale, Arizona at the University of Phoenix Stadium. 72,219 were in attendance. And the buy rate was 885,000. And the tagline was get all fired up for WrestleMania. So there's that. There was a Raw and SmackDown branded pay-per-view, so we got that. So yeah.
Good show, actually. I enjoyed it.
This was a very compared to the previous year, I felt the show was a little bit better.
Yeah.
I know. Here's the thing. Rewatching these 15 years later is hindsight's 2020. Because you know what happens further on down the road. Yeah. And we'll get into that here in a little bit. So, we have opening match. We have Show Miz versus Morrison and Truth for the unified WWE Tag Team titles. Nothing noteworthy in that match, I didn't think. It was 3 minutes and 20 seconds.
I mean, I'm glad it was only 3 minutes and 20 seconds. Everybody hit their key moves. I didn't really pay close attention to it because I'll be honest with you, it's not a hidden secret at the Huge Pop Wrestling podcast group that I'm not a fan of Miz or Morrison, or now I'm kind of getting into R-Truth, but I could care less, and I'm glad it only took 3 minutes.
Now, R-Truth's entrance was longer than the match itself.
Correct. I enjoyed that.
What's up? I mean, that was kind of like, for nostalgia purposes, it was kind of cool.
Yeah, absolutely.
But it was like, all right, R-Truth. So many times you say what's up and whatever.
That was a hell of a chop that R-Truth took.
Yes.
To end the match. That was a beastly chop. So I'll just give that.
Now, I know you don't like the Miz, but when this event was live and in living color, back in 2010, so 15 years ago, exactly. We didn't really. I didn't like him. I thought he was a douche canoe. I thought he was an absolute asshat. I hated him. Like but he was the heel, right? He was the guy that, But
as Matt would say, if you don't like him, he's a heel. He's doing his job. So
he was doing his job. He truly was at that point. He made me not like him, and I like heels because I love Randy Orton, right? So to see him, to look back and watch him, he did everything right in that match.
He did.
He was the chicken shit heel because he had the big goon.
Yeah.
He had the big goon behind him with the big show.
Yeah.
I mean,
Snowy Florida.
So, I mean,
Snowy Florida sucks, Dad. Snowy Florida's cold. Snowy Florida's gross. So glad it's melting.
So talking about Randy Orton in specifics, he had the next match with the first time in his career, Cody Rhodes was at WrestleMania in a match, and it was him and Ted DiBiase Jr. and Randy Orton in a triple threat.
So I'm just reading some. I pulled up some WrestleMania thing. This is interesting to me because by no means do I think Cody Rhodes is this, but in that match, I didn't realize that Orton and not Orton, DiBiase and Rhodes were jobbers in that match.
Potentially, yeah.
That that was Cody Rhodes' first one, but they say they were jobbers. They did and to me that's pretty cool to see a jobber be elevated to today's world of our world's heavyweight champions. That's pretty cool.
I mean, Cody is our champion. He is today current champion.
Yeah. And dude, those guys look small as shit. I was like, what? I was like, that's one thing I kept on saying to myself. I'm like, man, these guys are huge today. They're not
jacked
big
now, yeah.
They're not. Yeah, they're jacked on whatever, but man, they were little people, it seemed like.
Well, let's see. Cody Rhodes right now is 39, so in 80 he was born in 85. Do the math. 95, he's 10. 05, he's 20. So he was 25 years old at that point.
Man, but yeah, compared to today, Cody Rhodes is jacked today compared to that.
He was 25 years old for that match, and I always felt he was the better of the two legacy guys.
Absolutely. 100%.
I never got into the Ted DiBiase. Ted DiBiase Jr., in my opinion, he had a better body. Like, he looked the part. He just didn't have the it factor for me. He didn't have the charisma. He didn't have the pedigree of Dusty Rhodes. You know what I mean? Like, yeah, his dad was a Hall of Famer too. His dad was Ted DiBiase, the $1 Million Man. But I mean,
yeah. And I was just saying, go ahead. Sorry.
I think he was just trying to live off the fact that his dad was the $1 Million Man. Yeah. That's really all it was.
I have to say this because everybody knows in Huge Pop Nation that I'm not a Cody Rhodes. Wait, no, I do like Cody Rhodes. I just don't like where he's at.
See, it comes out. The truth finally comes out, ladies and gentlemen. He hates Cody Rhodes.
My favorite part of this match was when he got punted in the head. Ooh. I was like, go, Randy, go. So I'm just saying. Pretty good, Matt. The Do-List, thank you for coming on, man.
Thank you. He's here pretty much every week for at least both of the shows that I'm on. But yeah, the match went 9 minutes. And this is when Randy's
Thank you. No, you don't like Cody Rhodes either. Praise God.
This was when Randy started that whole Twitch thing where he was all like, I'm going to start hurting people now. Yeah. That's when his mind started rolling, and that's some of the best Randy Orton we're going to be seeing very shortly in the next few years watching. I mean, the match was the perfect length. It was 9 minutes long. It could have gone on a little bit. It could have gone on a little bit longer, but it didn't. So,
I like Matt. I think Matt the Do-List.
You would like him.
Let's throw this out there, right?
So, next up, we have the Money in the Bank, the last Money in the Bank at WrestleMania ever. And we all know my opinion. Well, we share this opinion that it should be at a WrestleMania and not on its own goddamn pay-per-view.
Yes, sir.
I'm not going to go into that anymore.
Yep, 100%.
This had everything a Money in the Bank pay-per-view or Money in the Bank ladder match should have. Had all the high spots. It had all the holy shit moments. And it had just it was what a Money in the Bank should be, a car wreck.
I was telling Matt earlier, I feel this is one of the top 2 matches of the night from my perspective, from what I like. I mean, insanity. No, I didn't expect Jack Swagger to win it. I forgot who won it. The first time I watched when I watched it live, but this had this was probably one of the best. I mean, the stuff they did. I loved when they put the 2 ladders a long ways through the one that's standing up. Those spots were amazing. Evan Bourne. What the hell ever happened to Evan Bourne? That kid put on a show. That kid, wow. Wow. That's what I have to say.
He was an undersized kid. That's why didn't, and he did all the flippity flop stuff, and he just didn't. His body couldn't handle it anymore.
That
and I think
star press, holy hell!
Yeah, that shooting stars press was ridiculous. Ridiculous.
Kofi Kingston spots. Everybody loves spots. I mean, using the ladders as stilts. Yeah, he missed that running up the ladder. He botched that a little bit. But oh my God.
It was still pretty neat though. Not gonna lie.
Yeah, that was pretty
Shelton
cool.
Benjamin had a couple nice spots in there.
I honestly didn't realize that Drew McIntyre was in that one. So,
yeah.
Dude.
That's the one thing that when his Broken Dreams hit, I was like, what?
Yeah. And dude looks tiny compared to now, man. I'm like, what?
Well, you got to think he's the same thing as Cody and Cody and Ted DiBiase. This was like his first WrestleMania appearance. I'm pretty sure that was Drew McIntyre's first. Yeah, because he wasn't in it last year, or the year before. 13 minutes and 40 seconds. That was the time on that one. It probably could have gone another few minutes, in my opinion, because it just felt like it was such a smooth match and everything. You got like I said, it had everything. It checked all the points. It was a high flying match. It had your train wreck scenarios, and it just did everything that a ladder match should have. Yeah. And Jack Swagger won. I mean, I would have picked someone else to win it, but whatever. Yeah. And you look at the roster that's on that. Dolph Ziggler just left the company not too long ago. Drew McIntyre's still there. Evan Bourne, who knows? Kane's retired. Kofi's still around. Matt Hardy's doing some stuff over at Impact. MVP's over on AEW, and Shelton Benjamin just floating around doing whatever Shelton Benjamin's doing.
Isn't Shelton Benjamin in AEW with
Did he go over with Bobby Lashley?
I think so. I believe he did.
I don't watch AEW.
Cornette could probably tell me. I don't know. I thought Shelton Benjamin's over there with. Yeah, I thought he was.
Oh yeah, Evan Bourne's with AEW. Matt Sydal.
Yeah. Okay.
And it's spelled with a Y too, by the way. Cody, just
get out of here. Get out of the business.
Come on now. Be better.
Be better. Be good at it, bitches.
What's up, fucks? Sorry. That's Cody. That's my one F-bomb for the day. Anyway.
Yeah, I thought so, Matt. I thought he was F Bobby and MVP. That makes sense.
So again, that match went 13 minutes and 40 seconds. Again, had everything you wanted, and all of them are still pretty. Other outside of Kane, they're all still active in the business. So next up, we have a absolute, and I'm not saying this because he's in the match, but an absolute banger after banger after banger. This this match was the defining, or not a defining moment, but it helped Sheamus get over, in my opinion.
Yeah, 100%.
The rivalry with Triple H, Sheamus and Triple H that they had was tremendous, and it was very well done. They beat the piss out of each other. They really did.
Yeah.
That was you put two dudes that just want to beat the brakes off of somebody in the same ring. That's always ends up being something fun to watch.
How many times does he have to get hit with a pedigree, though?
Well, dude, he's the Celtic Warrior, dude. You can't take him out with just one. You can't just take him out with just one.
It had to be like, I don't know. It was a good match, so it was. I bet you that did put, but even though he lost, it put Sheamus over. I agree with Matt on that.
Oh yeah, and that's what Paul Triple H Levesque. I'm going to address Cody here for a second. I understand that he was a WWE champion, but he wasn't over in my opinion. He wasn't that guy. And the rivalry with Triple H helped him get over and be that guy. Like, it gave him more legitimacy than just squeaking by with a championship for a little bit. Just my opinion. Next up, we have Rey Mysterio and CM Punk. Singles match. Had Mysterio lost, he would have to join the Straight Edge Society.
So
I love it. I love it.
I love Straight. I love that. That brought Matt back memories of CM Punk with the Straight Edge Society. I loved it. I loved how he played off. He doesn't use drugs and drink alcohol. He's just straight edge. Blah blah blah. The whole thing leading up to that, because I liked how they showed recaps of what happened Friday Night SmackDown, where Ray was out there trying to have a birthday celebration with his boy. And mind you, you can see a little bit of Dominic there. I love that. That's pretty cool how to see how he was a little kid at one time. Now he's, Dom. That was pretty cool from my perspective. And man, just a good match. A good match. 619.
Happy birthday, dear Dom.
Yeah.
You suck your fat thumb. Get the hell off my screen, you jackass.
That was great. I mean, everything that I wanted to see. What my favorite part of that match, though, when he had CM Punk on the ground, how his finish, he 619'd him, and he stood up and he just did that face drop. That was sick. That was pretty cool.
Now, that rivalry is so underappreciated and so underrated, because the storytelling that both Punk and Mysterio was able to do over the span of that rivalry was amazing. That one went 6 minutes and 30 seconds. I could have gone for another 5-10 minutes. To be completely honest, I thought it was a great match. Like, they just kept the tempo was perfect. Like, there again, the only match so far that could have been just left out was that tag team match at the beginning. So far. And then, okay, so we go from one of my favorite matches to an absolute shit show. This was, in the words of Bruce Pritchard, the drizzling shits. It was bad. It was two people that shouldn't have been in the ring having a street fight. By this time, Bret Hart's already suffered a concussion at the hands of Bill Goldberg, so he ain't right in the head at that point. No holds barred lumberjack match, and with Bruce Hart as special guest referee.
Right. So
why?
That's why I thought why. I said, okay, Vince comes down with the Hart family because he paid them to be on his side, to be the lumberjacks, blah blah blah. Again, I'm reading something here. This guy is so funny. This guy says about claiming that he paid them off to betray Bret. Then this guy says even Stevie Wonder could see the coming swerve. As it turns out, they took Vince McMahon's money and decided to screw him over. You can see that. You know it had to do with that Montreal screw job, right?
Yeah.
And that's why this match was here. You knew that Bret Hart. You don't have to be a brilliant scientist to understand that it's going to be Bret Hart that's going to screw him over, or the Hart family. So when those guys came down with him, I'm like, yeah, okay, Vince, you just got fucked over. Whoops, that's my 1F. So I'm like, so I thought that was the same as you, Matt. Stupid match, dumb.
Well, I love the one part that I did enjoy was when Bret did the reveal. He's all like, so if I know anything, Bruce, you probably got your money up front. Yeah. And you did too. And like he just went around the ring and like pointed at people. You did too. You probably got your money too. And it was. And then the reveal of, oh, we got you, Vince. We won. We're one step ahead of you, Vince. Yeah. I mean,
I didn't like it. Cody, sorry, I didn't like that match.
I mean, it wasn't. Okay, so it felt like they were giving Bret Hart the Hulk Hogan treatment at that point, because Hulk Hogan had a match with Vince because they had their beef, right? Come on. How many times are we going to parade Vince McMahon out there? Is WrestleMania 41 in Vegas going to be Vince versus Janelle Grant? I mean, that's about the dumbest thing I've ever. That's because everyone gets their match, you know.
Right.
Stupid. Anyway, that went 11 minutes and 9 seconds. That was about 10 minutes too long.
Agreed.
It was 10 minutes too long. Yeah. Again. Next up, we have a very, very competitive match. It has Chris Jericho at its peak. This is peak Jericho, and this was amazing against Edge for the World Heavyweight Championship.
Yeah. I mean, two of I got the guys I liked watching the most growing up. You know, those two they're just phenomenal. I mean, Jericho, even in today, he's I can't say I still enjoy watching him today on AEW. Some of the stuff is stupid. He's not doing much, but he's still going. Edge is still going, whether it's on Cody Cornette's favorite show or not. He's still going.
No, he's not. He's not over there.
Isn't that
they got this guy that looks like him. His name's Cope.
Really? Oh, yeah, that's right. Cope, yeah. So I love seeing the guys that we watched. And this is the thing. The biggest thing I got out of this whole event was seeing how many of those guys have evolved into superstars today. That's just so much. That's good. You picked your time to do it, right? No, but I thought that match was good.
Now that match legit, like it was. It sucked because it was kind of buried in the card. But that's what they did to the World Heavyweight Championship at that point. It wasn't the WWE Championship, so they buried it. They put it in the middle of the card. They kind of like folded it between a lumberjack match and a 10 Diva tag team match, which could have been cut out for itself because that match was ridiculous. It was dumb. But yeah, Jericho Edge. Edge did Edge will get his redemption in the next WrestleMania. But we'll talk about that next week.
Did any of these matches, Matt? I didn't pay attention to the ref. Did any was Kiata? Was he in there? Any of these?
That's the one thing I need to start watching myself. Like I wasn't really paying attention to who was in ring with these other guys. I was paying attention to the so again, if Mike Chioda's watching any of these episodes, I'm sorry for not looking at that. I need to start paying more attention to it, and we'll point it out a little bit more. The Jericho Edge match went almost 16 minutes. It was 15:45. It was always nice to hear, on this day, you think you know me. You know, like I love it. So again, Jericho won because it was time for Jericho to continue winning continue on his little reign of terror with that heavyweight title. That big gold. The next one, like I just said, the 10 Diva tag match. The entrances lasted longer than the actual match. It had Alicia Fox, Lay Cool, Maurice, and Vicky Guerrero against Beth Phoenix, Eve Torres, Gail Kim, Kelly Kelly, and Mickie James. In my opinion, the most talented person was Gail Kim. Gail Kim, that woman is top 10 all time. Just amazing. Just amazing talent.
The star of that match was Vicky Guerrero.
Excuse me.
Excuse me. And that was a great part of it. And the hog splash, that was phenomenal. That was good. And she stole the show.
She had her WrestleMania moment.
Yes.
Unfortunately, that's a thing.
She got it. That was awesome.
I mean, Vicky is what Vicky is. She again, a heel does. If you don't like a heel, if you don't like a heel, they're doing their job.
Right. Now, was this right before The Rock and that little thing with her with all the music, the singing?
The Rock concert.
Yeah, it was. She was his focal point at one time. Was this after that?
I think this was after because.
Yes. Yeah. The love triangle wasn't enough.
Yeah, I think that was after.
Okay.
The Rock concert where he called, like, basically made fun of. I'll have to find that. And anyway, that was before. This Mania was after that happened.
Okay. All right.
Because that was Hollywood Rock coming back. That was before he came back and hosted. And was it?
I don't know. I love Vicky Guerrero, so that's all I got to say.
Hold on.
Want me to stump anybody? So while Matt's doing that, I want to see if I can get this thing downloaded.
Yeah. Wow. I'm wrong. I stand corrected. I thought it was before, but that happened on January 14th, 2013.
Wow.
So that was actually
Roxy and the 2.
that was 3 years later. That was
Okay.
3 years later
Cool.
because it was 2013 when that happened.
All right.
But anyway, this was at the start of the climb of Vicky Guerrero to being the obnoxious person that she has always been. So next up we have an absolute. This rivalry is another one that's underrated in my opinion. Cena Batista, and I'm not a Cena I'm not a Cena apologist like our producer is. I don't worship the ground that John Cena walks on, but I do respect what he's done for the business. He is his generation's Hulk Hogan, just minus the racism. Um, I I think that's maybe why, as an adult, I didn't. Um, I think that's why I didn't like him, because as an adult, many adults didn't like Hogan growing up. I'm assuming because Hogan was shoved down their throats and just being like, you need to. As kids, I remember I want that action figure. I want the Hulk Hogan action figure. I want the T-shirts. Cost my mom and dad money. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
They didn't like that. Like, so John Cena is the modern day, was his era's Hulk Hogan. He sold merch. He made movies. He opened the doors for John Cena, for the Roman Reigns to make those movies. And look, he opened the door for The Rock and everything to give them an opportunity to be in Hollywood.
Mm-hmm.
So, I got off on that for a few minutes. Sorry. But John Cena Batista, what'd you think?
Let's look at some probably unpopular opinions. For two guys of that caliber, I felt it was sloppy. Their moves, their finish, their counters, and I just thought it was sloppy. Yeah. I mean, finisher. I mean, reversals and counters were pretty cool. I mean, because there was a lot of that in that match. But I also seen a lot of, I don't know. I just thought, for as good as workers they are, there was some not very smooth. It wasn't very smooth, I guess. That's what I'm saying.
I mean, this rivalry had a lot of cool moments. And this match went 13 and a half minutes. It was for the WWE Championship. And this is the first time since, oh God, I'm trying to remember. There was only 2 other times prior to this Mania that the WWE Championship wasn't the main event. And this is the third. This would have been the third time that it wasn't the main event. One was at 8. And that was Hogan Sid. And then the other one was the worst WrestleMania main event of all time, and that's Bam Bam and Lawrence Taylor, which was freaking the dumbest thing I could ever think of, and I would hate it with a passion of a million burning suns. It was the dumbest match on the face of the planet. Again, this is all my opinions. I just hated that match. I thought it was garbage, and we're not talking about WrestleMania 11 because it was hot. It was hot garbage. But it's the first time since 11 that we didn't see the WWE Championship in the main event. So there's that. But yeah, Batista looked okay. He wasn't at his best at that match, and I think that might have been why Cena didn't look as good as he normally would in a main event. I don't know. I don't like passing blame or judging these guys,
right?
Because I'm not them. I've never been in the ring. But you're right. Things just didn't look like it should at times. But Cena, again, what did Hulk Hogan have to do at every WrestleMania? Cena must pose. Oh, gosh, golly gee. Cena's got to win. Oh, no. I mean, the only thing Cena didn't do in that match was Hulk up.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? Like, whatever.
Yep.
And, okay. I'm getting off on a Cena rant right now. And I'm not anti-Cena. It was just shoved down our throats so much. You know what I mean? The next match obviously was the match of the night, and it deserved to be the main event. Don't get it twisted. Just because I pointed out that the WWE didn't have it as the main event, and the main event wasn't the WWE Championship, doesn't mean I didn't like it. The main event was Taker Shawn Part 2. Career versus Streak.
You know,
24 minutes of absolute banger.
Yeah, and if you were the producer putting this on, you had to finish the show with a banger match. And these two guys came out there and put on one hell of a banger. I mean, I can't say nothing. No, they looked sick. Yes, it was. I believe it was better than WrestleMania 25. Yes, absolutely. 100%. Stipulate all the way from the stipulations, the storytelling that led up to this match, and everything else that goes into this. Even at the end when Taker beat him finally, you know, he helped up Shawn and they shook hands, and it was it, right? That I can't say nothing. These two guys, man, they put on shit. They put on matches that are just amazing. And I was talking to Matt earlier. 35 years ago, wasn't that? Did we figure it out? 35?
35 years ago, right now from today, yes.
Undertaker showed up in WWE. And if there's one guy
that 1990. Survivor Series 1990.
If there's one guy that has evolved from generation to generation to generation, it's the Undertaker. I mean, one of the best, if not the best in the business.
I will put Undertaker as the single greatest character.
Yeah. 100%.
The single greatest character in WWE history. His character work was second to none. he does evolve. He went from being a living zombie, dead man with ice in his veins to the cult leader, the Ministry of Darkness stuff.
Yeah.
And then he went away from that, morphed into the American Badass, and did all that. And then he just went back to being the Undertaker, just a dude who digging souls or taking souls and digging holes, or digging holes and taking souls.
Right. And I think even in the bits of COVID, I think it was wasn't that Money in the Bank, which I can't stand that pay-per-view, but wasn't that Money in the Bank where he had the graveyard match with that cinematic?
No, that was Mania.
Okay, that cinematic graveyard match that he had, again, just shows how evolved, what kind of performer he is. That was one hell of a match as well. Hands down. It was just, this guy, I can't say, I mean, hands down to him, I can't say much more, anything bad about him.
There's only a select few people that when you hear, because you hear the gong, everyone turns and just freaks out because it's Taker coming. Yep. You hear the broken glass, it's Stone Cold, right?
Yep.
You hear, if you smell, you instantly know it's The Rock. John Cena's his theme music. Those are the four most iconic, in my opinion, four of the most, boom, you have everyone in the arena's attention at that point.
Yeah.
And I'm not saying that because I'm an old head, because, all those guys, aside from Cena, were from our era.
Yeah.
It's not that. It's that my son can hear the glass shatter and, oh shit, Stone Cold's here. And he's 12.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? Like,
it's amazing.
Yeah, now, this generation has burn it down. Yeah, okay.
Yeah, it's amazing though, because the generation Andrew's in, it even I can relate that to music too. I could be playing in my kitchen. I could be playing some 80s, early 90s rock, and they'll know who it is. I mean, they're like, hey, you're only 16 years old. You know who this is, right? And that's with wrestling theme songs. Back in the day, everybody now that's watching knows the broken glass, knows the if you smell, So our generation growing up in the 80s and 90s, I could say we had some of the best, if not the best. So yeah, this match was everything I wanted to have. So
I'm going to ignore that comment because it's trying to.
Oh yeah.
But so you had the not icon. You have you had the streak. You had what no one in the. We have streaks in wrestling, such as the Bruno streak, where no one's going to touch that in our lifetime. I don't think anyone's ever going to touch the Bruno streak of number of days with the title. It's not something that's ever going to be touched.
Right.
And I think it's the same thing with the Taker streak. I don't think anyone's ever going to have that long of a 21. He goes 21 straight wins. He has 21 straight wins. Taker does. Taker had 21 consecutive wins at Mania. No one's ever going to come close to that. He's just one of the most. So he had Mr. WrestleMania versus the streak, and like you said, the moment at the end with Triple H, because Triple H was out there, right? No.
No, he wasn't, because it was Shawn Michaels rolling up the ring and walking up the match, saying goodbye.
Yes, that's right. My bad. Next year is Triple H versus Taker. That's what it was. Next year is Triple H Taker. But again, 24 minutes of just absolute beautiful. I can't remember what I had for dinner last night, let alone what I watched on TV 5 days ago. So
I feel this is the appropriate time to do this.
what? Hey, listen. The people in Los Angeles, next time you shouldn't boo Hulk Hogan because you went and started a fire.
He's just coming away from that Billy Joel concert.
But in all seriousness, we did find out over the weekend that Billy Joel did in fact start the fire.
Hulk Hogan's going to win at the Royal Rumble. Yeah, there you go.
I tell you what, though, if he shows up, and again, if he shows up at Saturday night's main event,
we'll be talking about Saturday night's main event, I think, tonight.
We'll be talking about Saturday night's main event next Monday if that happens. I'll put a whole. I will back it up. I will put WrestleMania 27 in the can, and we'll save it for the week after. But we're going to talk. We'll probably talk a little bit about Saturday night's main event on Monday during the show, and then I'll give my picks for the Royal Rumble. Scott will give his on Tuesday night with his boys. I don't want to have him give away his stuff until his show that night or the next night. But I'll be giving my picks, so they're out there on the internet, and so people can make fun of me or whatever. It doesn't matter. I'm used to it. But Saturday night's main event, quickly, for me, I don't even know the matches for this week's. We have Gunther versus Jey Uso. We have Braun Breaker versus Sheamus. We have Braun Strowman versus Jacob Fatu. Rhea versus Nia. And Cody Rhodes and Kevin Owens to sign their contract. I'm going to touch on this, give my predictions really, really quick here because Scott will be tonight's your show, if I'm correct. I'm sure you guys will be giving your predictions about what's going to happen on Saturday night's main event. Yep. I'm going to go Gunther beats Jey Uso. Just because the last time we saw Jey Uso, the last time we saw Jey Uso is we had Gunther getting out of the ring and leaving. On Monday Night Raw, this week he got his dick kicked in a little bit, and he left. I'm gonna take Gunther just because, the Ring General does what he does. Next up, we have what could potentially be the match of the night. Braun Breaker versus Sheamus. That's going to be an absolute just slugfest. And my pick, I want to say Braun Breaker wins, but I think Sheamus pulls it off and becomes the IC championship. And that'll free up Braun Breaker to go in and be a favorite for the Royal Rumble and go and try to win the Rumble and propel himself into the big title picture.
Right.
Next one is, I have a question for everyone that's going to watch this. Why are we having Braun Strowman versus Jacob Fatu? Make it make sense to me.
Right.
Because it doesn't. There's no reason for this match. But I'm taking Jacob Fatu because the only reason for this match is he's gonna get essentially that's what it is. It's the job to Fatu, and he's gonna look amazing. He's gonna look like $1 million. And I think it's dumb. It's a waste for Fatu because give him someone that will help him look good. Because Braun Strowman's not going to make him or help him look good. It's going to help him look strong, but it's not going to help him look good. That's just my opinion. I just don't see how Braun Strowman can help Jacob Fatu. Rhea versus Nia. It's going to be one of those matches, I believe, that is going to be not necessarily a throwaway match, but it's going to be one of those things to help build it. Help build this. Things are not going to go off clean here.
Right.
It's going to be two women beating the absolute brakes off each other, and it's going to be, if we do have a winner, it's more than likely going to be Rhea. At least I hope so. And then, there's going to be some tomfoolery with the Cody Rhodes and KO. Someone's going to go through a table. Someone's going to do something. Sami Zayn might get involved because of what happened on Monday Night Raw. And I think it's dumb that Kevin Owens is carrying around that Winged Eagle belt.
Mm-hmm.
Like, really, dude? Like, that's dumb. To me, it's so we're gonna have two belts hanging from the ceiling at the Rumble, and one's gonna be the Winged Eagle, and one's gonna be the actual undisputed World Heavyweight Championship. Hopefully, the WWE is smartens up to it and lets the winner pick what title they're gonna tote around, and make it the WWE, make it the Winged Eagle again. I think that thing's freaking sweet.
Right.
So that's our show, really. Join the boys tonight, 9:00 Eastern Standard Time, same channel. Probably going to be Scott, Cody, and Recreate. So, yeah.
Anybody interested in Thursday night? It would be tomorrow night. We'll have the jobber Mario Mancini on the show tomorrow night to hear all his fun takes.
And then tomorrow do you want to go one more tomorrow afternoon? Talk a little bit of football, huh?
Yeah, we'll probably be quick, won't it?
Yeah, we'll just be talking about the playoffs that were last week. I'm still licking my wounds a little bit because
Let me get back to you on that one.
Okay. So it's tentative. We might have a show tomorrow. You can find us again, YouTube, Facebook, Twitch, Spotify, Apple Podcasts, wherever you find your podcast needs on audio. We should be there with you every step of the way. So if you'd like listening to me rant about how much John Cena is this era's Hulk Hogan, give it a listen. It'll be fun. But next week we'll be talking about what happened on Main Event and WrestleMania 27. No, well, not 27. Yeah, 27. So that being said,
life.
It was not letting me go to it. The hell.